Hello, Keystone community. It's Mrs. Sumalong from our middle and high school social studies department. Today begins Women's History Month, and I'm here to share some details with you about what this month means and how you can celebrate it with the women in your own lives. Women's History Month is celebrated each March in the United States. It's a month where we celebrate women's achievements in history, math, science, and politics, as well as the talented women making new discoveries and sharing their genius with us today that are changing our world for the better. The road to getting Women's History Month recognized has been paved with many challenges, and it took time and hard work by many women and allies. Starting with the 1848 Seneca Falls Convention, where women gathered to discuss how to earn the right to vote. Women have been working to make change for future generations. In 1920, women were finally granted the right to vote in the United States with the ratification of the 20th Amendment. In 1942, President Franklin Roosevelt created the Navy's Women's Reserve, which opened the door for women to serve in U.S. Armed Forces. In 1987, March was declared Women's History Month, and in 2020, the United States elected Kamala Harris as the first woman to serve as vice president. Before Women's History Month was created, there was International Women's Day, which was first celebrated on March 8, 1911. The United Nations began commemorating the day in 1975 and provides a special proclamation and activities every year as well as recognition on their annual remembrances calendar. Other nations like the United Kingdom, Australia, and South Africa celebrate Women's History Month in March, while Canada celebrates it in October. Most nations around the world hold special celebrations and festivals for International Women's Day each March 8th. One of the world's largest and most comprehensive guides to Women's History Month comes from the National Women's History Alliance, which is one of the founding leaders of the movement for a special history month. They helped plan the first big celebration in 1978 and lobbied President Jimmy Carter for a special declaration for a History Week in 1980. NWHA began choosing a history theme each year in 1987 and has become the premier website for all things related to Women's History Month, having the largest media collection in the world. This year's theme is Moving Forward Together, Women Educating and Inspiring Generations, which celebrates the collective strength and influence of women who have dedicated their lives to education, mentorship, and leadership to others. If you'd like to learn more, there are many great free resources available from these organizations. You can start with the National Women's History Alliance, which offers free posters and a toolkit with materials to use for celebration. To learn more about female trailblazers, try history.com. To see what the United Nations plans for International Women's Day, check out their website. Some other great guides can be found on the websites for International Women's Day, Library of Congress, National Women's History Museum, and National Geographic for Kids. We hope you have a great time celebrating all the women in your life throughout this month.